Pledge to the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Matt Miller is missing. So he's out enjoying himself out west hunting somewhere. Lucky guy. With that, we'll move right into approval of the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Moved and supported, all in favor?
Aye.
Supervisor's comments, I just want to be sure that everyone is aware that the December meeting is going to be up at the high school in the Alverson Performing Arts Center, 7 o'clock, standard time. And I've asked for the doors to be opened at 6:30, so I should have a chance to get in there. And that's all I need. And with that, we'll go to the first call to the public. Anybody like to speak?
First, thank you for arranging for the auditorium for the December meeting. Joe, curious as to any update on the ethics draft policy.
Other than the information I have from the attorney that said we should start with what the MTA has, but no, the board hasn't taken any action on it yet.
Okay, thank you.
So, but we will be.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
So I wanted to share a quick thought from the October meeting. I was speaking with someone, for those that don't know, I'm Steve Greenmont. I live at Bull Run in Coon Lake, so I'm a resident of the township. I was speaking with someone after the October meeting because I know there was a lot of feelings and all that regarding the DTE thing. And this person I was speaking with happens to support the solar project. And I asked him, I said, why didn't you get up and talk? And he told me, he said, if I had talked at that meeting, they would have tarred and feathered me. And I felt, because I'm a veteran, I serve the country and I try to keep a neutral attitude about this. I felt very frustrated to hear that coming from somebody who's a resident and who has an investment in the township, and that he couldn't come up. He didn't feel it was a safe place for him to come and express his opinions because it was highly unpopular. So I felt as a neutral sort of party, I wanted to, come on the record to say that there are people who support the project. And I'm standing from somebody who, within the buffer zone. And this one person I was speaking with had told me that the ranger plan, the ranger proposal, paid him $500 more per acre, but it would have included the clause that he would clear cut his land. And he said that he would actually prefer the DTE proposal, even though it paid him less per acre, because it allowed him to keep the land whole. They were only going to use the areas that were already cleared. And so, we all know the master plan has the population increasing to around 9,000 residents by 2040. And so it was a measure of, I'm sure some people have heard my proposal regarding protection of the township's cultural resources, and regarding ethnographies or surveys that are anthropological in nature. And so I, as somebody who follows or studies anthropology, feel that that's, something we should take into consideration to protecting the culture that's under the ground as well as above it. So when DTE or Ranger or whoever in the future wants to build on land in the township, that we're making sure we preserve our cultural identity at what's going to come up. Because once the dirt has been disturbed, it's been disturbed. If there's any artifacts or or lessons or history or science to be learned there is gone. So that's all I had to say. So,
Anybody else?
I just want to say this whole thing, the first I heard about any of this was these rumors that were kind of swirling about that something was happening with land and farmers were signing NDAs and nobody knew what was happening. I think DTE used these NDAs to kind of tie the hands of the farmers. They couldn't talk to their friends, they couldn't talk to their family members, they couldn't talk to their cousin Ed who lives in Nebraska that's been through this, that had attorneys that could maybe tell them what to look for in their contracts, to what to be careful of. I feel like the NDAs did not do the farmers any favors, certainly did not do us any favors. Then there have been board members around the country who have been signing NDAs. I don't think it's very transparent. I'm worried about it. It's happening everywhere. And then DTE comes in with these little mini NDAs, these good neighbor agreements, and people are selling their voice. They're selling their voice for virtually no money. And I want more transparency. I want more openness. I'm excited that you guys are more transparent with the numbers today on the website but not on the papers. And we got, you published a spreadsheet about the balance sheet. That was great. Thank you very much. I'm concerned about transparency. I'm concerned about people not having a voice. I agree with Steve that people should feel like they can come here and voice their opinions. I don't like my neighbors' opinions being bought. I think they will ultimately regret that. And I would like to see more transparency everywhere. Sunshine is the best disinfectant, and I would like to see openness, no NDAs, no nothing.
Right. Yeah, I can't say I'm aware of NDAs, but personally, but I don't know how you prevent that, right? I mean, it's a private citizen, and he
Correct.
decides to sign one with the company.
However, and you know, farmers are free to make whatever bad decisions they want to make, right? Human beings are free to make whatever bad decisions they want to make, good decisions too. I don't like seeing it on the board. There were board members who signed them, and I do think that's a conflict of interest. And I want to make sure that the public is aware that NDAs, like if they're asking you to keep your mouth shut for 30 years, that means in 2 years, if they do something and they run over your land and run over your cows, you can't say anything because you signed this stupid NDA. So stop selling your voice. Keep your voice. It's one of the most important things we have.
I'm sorry, did you just imply that somebody on this board signed an NDA?
Hardee's had signed an NDA, had he not?
Not that I'm aware of.
I thought that he had, and I may be mistaken.
I have not been offered an NDA. I don't know of anybody on this board signing an NDA.
So if
I mean, as Joe said, it is a private contract between a private citizen.
No, I understand.
You just threw that out there.
I'm sorry, if I was wrong, I apologize. I apologize if I was wrong, 100% apologize. I do not think board members should be signing NDAs with corporations for things that are happening in the township.
If you're absolutely to that
At
opinion,
least from
you
the
are
standpoint
welcome.
of the board, they should be recusing themselves.
Correct,
Right.
correct. And he did. And so if I was incorrect, I was incorrect. I apologize.
Anybody else?
Well, it was my understanding when you signed this 30,000 over 30 years with DTE that you were not going to be speaking against them. That's what I was told when it was presented, the letter to me.
I mean, it seems logical, if you signed it, you're probably not
Right.
speaking against it.
So,
But
you know, they're
I can't say that
they're
I know
giving
that they
people
actually said we will not speak against it.
money to, you know,
Right. Yes,
sad.
yes, they sold their property, I mean, in essence. So yes, why would they speak against it? I mean, I don't know.
It just starts to feel a little shady, that's all.
So,
Plus, in our master plan, we have a master plan right now, but they want to amend it, correct? I don't know what's going on with Cohoctah and Conway. Their amount was about equal to what DTE wanted from us, from them together. And I don't know if anything, they accepted it, but with stipulations, which I don't know if they.
My understanding is that they are waiting for Ranger or Headland Solar or whoever the conglomerates are that are involved there to respond to their conditional approval. So, and until they respond to it, I guess it's just kind of like on hold.
Right, but I mean, there's 2 townships that are giving X amount of land, and they want basically that much land from us, and we're just one township.
True, but they have significantly more land with panels on it. I mean, we're talking, DTE is talking 700 and I think, 28 acres of panels versus up in Cohoctah, their lands are basically all panels. That's the difference,
You know, we just don't want them near our homes.
so. But I hear you.
got one in our township.
Aren't they doing a data center too? Big data center?
That's handy.
Yeah,
And
that's handy, right? Or-
And Howell
that's-
Township.
It's
I thought they wanted to do that on Roberts Road. A data center on.
I don't know where you would put one on Roberts Road, but I haven't heard
Well,
any.
That would be a rumor.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of wet area on Roberts Road.
A lot of swamp on Robert Road.
I'm not sure what you would do with it.
Well, and I don't know where you get the water they need.
Swamp.
From the swamp? I don't think you're getting 1 million gallons a day from the swamp.
No, I have not heard that. but-
Dana's equating.
I
Oh,
noticed the other day, I was looking at Conway's site, and I realized down at the bottom that they have their own app where they like send out and push out notifications, and they have their own thing. And I thought, that they're in size-wise, they're pretty comparable to us. I mean, I know that they have 10-acre pieces, so they might actually even be a little smaller than us in terms of residents. But I thought that was such an awesome idea. And I'm just throwing it out to you because I thought maybe it's something that we could look into.
It's part of their website.
Yeah.
And you don't have that capability without people signing up, because Conway
Well, we
Township
do an
had,
email sign up.
yes, but the only reason I know about it is because they had the best turnout for early voting in some of last year's early voting. And I wanted to find out what they were doing to get the message out to their residents. And so Conway, I know, has it, but it is part of their website, and our website doesn't have that capability unless you sign up, you put your email address in there. But trying to get all the residents to put their information in the website is the problem. But their website is where they do that through, and ours doesn't have that capability. I think they do it through text message, because she told me, the clerk there told me that they send it out every day, the hours that they had for early voting.
Okay.
But people still would have to,
Download
Sign
the
up
app.
Then you'd have
Sign
to
up.
download the app.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if somebody went to our website and signed up for
Yeah.
election,
Yeah.
you could
Yeah.
send it out every,
Yeah, I would love
and
that.
you'd get an email.
Please do, so I can remind you next year when early voting is.
So there's just different companies then? Like
Yeah,
that runs the
websites,
website?
there's so many webmasters out there, people who design websites. There's
Okay.
just, yeah, we use completely different ones, but yeah, I
I was like, I think it's a fabulous idea.
I did
Maybe
too.
look into it.
would,
Or try to
Have
find
have
out
you
about
signed
it.
up to get
No,
emails?
well, I just saw it and was like, oh my gosh, you have an app that you can
well,
download?
you can do it from our website, because I encourage people to do it, because I'm gonna send trash bills out, email and paper copy, because people tend to lose paper copies. So you can sign up for, I think it's newsletter, minutes, agenda, special events, elections, like, you don't have to sign up for everything. Like,
Yeah, you can
just
pick and
sign up
choose
for
what
like
topics.
whatever you want, so that you're not
yeah, spread the word.
Yeah, well, it's just nice, you know, if you had an app that would like notify, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like there's
yeah,
it, so I thought
I
I'd
know.
just say, I'm like, that's a cool
I agree,
thing.
yeah, I agree. Unfortunately, our website doesn't have that.
Bummer.
We talked about it
look, I did.
when I found out last year about them winning early voting. But
I took that personally.
I did. I just want people to come and enjoy the experience and have all, I want them to be given the opportunity to vote if they so choose. That's what it's all about.
Anybody else? All right, with that, we will move on to adoption of the regular minutes from October 16th.
I'll move that we adopt the regular meeting minutes from October 16th.
Second.
Moved and supported. Any corrections, discussions? If none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carries. And from our public hearing on the same date.
All right, I move that we adopt the public hearing minutes from October 16th.
I'll second.
Moved and supported. Any corrections? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. And adoption of our closed session minutes from October 16th.
Probably just a minute, because I'm sure you guys are seeing of them, so if you, I mean, they're not long, but I
Right.
just want to take a minute and make sure that there's nothing that needs to be.
I'll make a motion that we adopt the closed session minutes from October 16th.
Second.
Moved and supported. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. And you're up.
Okay, Livingston County Sheriff's Department patrol, Friday, October 10th from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. There were 3 patrol area checks, 1 traffic detail, 1 assist to fire, 1 road hazard, 1 subdivision patrol, and 1 building check. On October 16th from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., 5 patrol area checks, 1 building check, 3 traffic details, and 1 subdivision patrol. On Thursday, October 23rd, from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., 4 patrol area checks, 1 building check, 1 traffic detail, 14 subdivision patrols, and 1 general non-criminal. On Tuesday, October 28th, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., 13 subdivision patrols, 4 building checks, 1 trespassing, 1 assist to fire, and 1 medical emergency. And then the Stockbridge election, I have the canvass results. There were no errors or omissions found, so as far as elections go, it was perfect, actually. We had only 20 voters, unfortunately, but there were no errors or omissions found with the Board of Canvassers. The last thing I wanted to talk about was security cameras. So there's a requirement starting in January of 2026 for drop boxes that were installed prior to 2020. They have to be under security camera footage for all the time that it is open during the election. We have one, and Joe re-angled it so that it was perfect on the drop box, but now it no longer works. So it worked that day after he changed the angle of it, but
Well, and 2 other ones were out as
yeah,
well.
yeah. Or were they?
The
Yeah.
system is incredibly old. Like, I was gonna try and look up when we got it in, and it's been a very long time. I would like us to research a new one, and I think it only saves 14 days
Yeah.
of footage, and you need 30?
I think it's at least 30, yeah, because it has to be under surveillance from before I send out absentee ballots until after election day.
Mhm.
And I'm I know we have to keep, so it's probably more than 30 days. It might be like 45. I will find that requirement out.
And then, I mean, right now, the footage is here, and the footage we do have is here in the building, so should the building burn down, we would not have any footage of anything, so it's time. Hopefully, they'll be able to still use the camera, so we won't have to rewire the whole thing, but we definitely need a new hall.
So someone, Supervisor Parker, listen to it.
That's fine, yeah, I mean,
Get some quotes
if you
or-
want to confirm the days.
Yes.
The specs that we'll need
Yep,
for that.
I absolutely will. And I could, they will pay, the Bureau of Elections will pay for the installation, but it's just the installation of the camera. They said they won't pay for anything for the actual
Like-
monitoring of it, so.
Oh, like
If we
just
have-
the camera over well, if we have to
So
replace
yeah,
that one.
if we do, then we can get,
Right.
we'll have to get a quote for just that
I'm
one.
sure that one will need to be replaced.
But, so that's it, just, you need to, and that's the first election that I know of, the first election that I know of is August of next year, unless we have a special May election for schools or
Okay,
something else. So we have some time, but
right. Okay.
thank you,
I'll put that on my list.
I appreciate it.
Treasurer's report.
All right, in front of you is the balance sheet. I have contacted DTE about their escrow. I've sent them the receipts. So I expect to hear back from them before the next meeting, and with a check. But that's the only exciting thing I have to report on the balance sheet. Thank you.
I guess then we will pay the bills.
I will make a motion that we pay $68,229.38. Somebody have a better copy, is that correct? Can somebody check?
68, 229.38.
Yep.
Perfect, okay, yes. Thank you. And township bills.
Second.
Moved and supported. Any discussion?
Any questions either?
No.
The PH&P was for the audit. I think that's the only thing in there that might not be clear.
All right, well, hearing none, call the roll.
Daily, aye. Harmon?
Aye.
Bonville?
Aye.
Parker?
Aye. Committee reports. Amanda.
We have had, since the last meeting, one vegetation fire, one explosion, no fire, 5 medical calls, 1 down power line, and 2 dispatched, canceled en route, and 1 no incident found on arrival at dispatch address, for a total of 11. I have not had a meeting. I have one the last week of November, so that is my report. Thank you.
So, just out of curiosity, on the last one, is that like a false alarm, or is that?
What is that, Julie, when you're dispatched and you show up at an address? and there's no-
So sometimes people will call and say, I think that the house, my next door neighbor's house is on fire, but they're actually having a bonfire, or it could be, somebody, it's usually somebody, a passerby or somebody else calls something in that they think that they know what it is, or they think there's a problem or an issue, and when we get there, there's actually no problem or issue.
Okay.
Really? That's the one you have the question?
It is. I
Not
just kind of wondered.
not the explosion, no fire? That's what I asked her before
I
about,
know.
before the
I
meeting.
I was on that call and I did that report, but right now, I just can't remember what it was. This
With fireworks.
this is day
all year
19
round
of 20 in a
anymore,
row,
I guess
so
explosions.
my brain is almost mush.
Yeah, not a problem. I just called Julie when I'm gonna burn, let her know. I'll call you. All right, thank you. Planning Commission. I have that. Matt's absent. He sent me notes from the Tuesday meeting. Mark Eidelson from Land Plan informed the township he will be retiring in December of 2026. He sent an email on November 6th regarding resources in selecting a new planner. He offered to assist the township drafting an RFQ or RFP and/or sitting in on any interviews with firms. And next was the PC recommended to the board the combining of the lots 15 and 16 in Arcadia Estates, which I mentioned you'll address that, talk about. New positions for the PC starting January will be, the chair will be Alan, the vice chair will be Patty, the secretary will be Sherry Van Wyk, and Tammy will be a member. And as mentioned in my opening notes, there will be, oh no, I take that back, this is the planning commission. There will be no December planning commission meeting, so. And that's all he had. Ann?
Just to follow up on Arcadia Estates, you all should have the plans now, and it will go on the January agenda due to the nature of the December meeting. And I have contacted the property owners about writing up the amendment master deed, and we should have that verbiage no later than January 8th. And then for permits, I've issued 44 permits for the year. Of those 44, 7 are for new dwellings. In addition to those 44 permits, I've issued 16 waivers. And that's all I have tonight.
Thank you. Unfinished business, as we know, DTE is tabled till December. New business. The text amendment to the, Ann, do you want to address that for the PC? I know we got it back from Mark Eidelson.
Basically what we've done, Mark and I worked closely together and then worked with the Planning Commission to clear up some language in our sign ordinance, just to make it easier to enforce and easier for me to advise residents on the matter. So no like specific measurement or square footage or anything changed. We just kind of separated the two tables to make them more clear.
I'll make a motion that we adopt the text amendments to section 8.8 residential signs.
Second.
Moved and supported to adopt the section 8.8 residential sign amendments for document presented by Mark Eidelson. Any additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, the same. Motion carries. Julie, do you want to?
Sure. So the contract, for the Williams County Sheriff's Department is, the rate did increase, which they told us last year, from $70 to $75 per hour. It is still for 8 hours per week, and it's for 52 weeks. So that's the extent of the contract. If you have any questions, I can.
Basically the same, but it was a $5 an hour increase.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and last time I think we did it 32 hours a month, and this time I thought because of, so for those of you who, I don't know if you all know, I know Joe and I have talked about this, but so they are cutting our statutory revenue sharing for, statutory revenue sharing next year. But with that, they have given us money for public safety. So public safety for cities, villages, and townships, and it was based on violent crime data over 2 of 3 years, from 2020, 2021, 2022. So the highest 2 years in those 3 years, they took and we're getting a distribution based on that. In 2020, we had 6 violent crimes, in 2021, we had 2, and in 2022, we had 4. So the average of the 2 highest is 5, which means that we're getting $4,444 from the state that has to be used for public safety. And so with that, I thought instead of just having 32 hours a month, that we would be able to afford having 8 hours per week for 52 weeks instead of just, do you know what I'm saying? Because there were some weeks that we wouldn't, but I hope that that's okay. I didn't overstep by saying that, but I thought with the $4,444 that we're getting from the state, that would make up for the extra week or 2 that we didn't get last year, this past year. Is there any other questions, or I guess?
I'm assuming we all feel that this is still working, this is still a,
I think it is, even if it's just to slow down traffic.
right.
I have heard not one complaint about it
Right.
from residents. I think that that's what they wanted.
Okay, yeah, as long as we can still afford to do it, I think that's right, it's using it for a good. All right, I will motion that we approve the Livingston County Sheriff's contract renewal.
Second.
Moved and supported. Any further discussion? No, call the roll.
Bonville,
Aye.
Harmon,
Aye.
Parker,
Aye.
Bailey, aye.
Motion carries. All right, with that, we're on to board member comments. Aaron?
I was curious if you've heard anything from Trinity, where we do our voting, precinct 2. Their status is not looking good, and I don't know if you guys have heard of that. I don't know how much longer they're gonna be open, and what does that mean for the township?
I mean, technically, we could just have the precinct here.
Good,
But-
you were gonna talk to Jean, you talked about this, did you?
Oh, I can. I guess I didn't have it on my list.
You said you were going to, but that's okay, you have a lot of things on your list, I can talk to her.
It sounds like they only have money through February.
Oh, no. Yeah, I'm not.
I did not.
They've been in dire straits for like 4 years.
I know.
So
Yeah.
I'm like,
know.
Right.
hey,
It'll probably
There's an
depend.
official letter now,
is there? Okay.
that they have to make decisions, so I don't know what those decisions are gonna be, whether
Oh.
they combine with Plainfield or, but I just didn't know if anyone else had heard anything.
I had not,
Not-
I've not heard
well.
anything. They know that they're a precinct, so.
Right,
Right.
well, I don't know if, I had heard that the church on Rowley might buy them, I don't know how much of a rumor that is, it's probably a pretty good rumor, but I guess it would depend if the building goes up for sale, who the new owner is, and if they want to continue that, or if they're gonna,
Or if they're gonna split it and have the house separate, and who knows what they,
We do have options, so they changed with early voting, they changed the size of a precinct, so we could technically combine and have one precinct and everybody would vote here. I do not believe there is room in here to have 2 precincts. I can't figure out how you would have 2 precincts in here. The last time that we heard the rumor that they might be, I tried to contact the Bible church, I think it's a Bible church, right, on Mason Road, that's still in the township, and they did not respond at all to but that's the only other location that I could think of that we could have it here, and I thought that would be perfect, because that's almost centrally located, easy for people to get to. I can try and reach out to them again. Well, I will reach out to one of my election workers who goes to church there and see what her take is on it. And then, because Yeah, and then if it looks like that it is something we need to be worried about, then we can discuss whether or not we want to combine the precincts and make it all one. People would really, really need to take advantage of early voting, because it's a lot of people to try and put in one in here.
Do you feel like the rise in absentee ballot voting would help that? I mean,
No, I think early voting, it would be the best.
early voting would
Would be the
I
best
just-
option, because you have 10 days to vote. So you have the 9 days early voting plus election day. That way, I mean, the permanent ballot list, so we got away from, the state stopped the permanent absentee application list and created the permanent ballot list. We still have about 200 people on the application list that will get a letter next year that says the application list is no longer supported from now on if you want to do this, which this letter already went out last year, we sent them one, but I'm gonna send them another one that says there's only a permanent ballot list now, and I do have to actually get their signature, and I have to check it just like I do for an absentee ballot, in order to put them on that permanent ballot list. But that's not enough to make it reasonable to have, and precinct 2 is actually bigger than precinct 1. So I think people are really, unless they don't mind standing in line, they're really gonna have to take advantage, if we combine, they're really gonna have to take advantage of early voting if they don't wanna stand in line.
How much bigger, how much more room would you need, I guess? 'Cause
To
you
make
said,
2
like,
precincts,
to
to
make
put
two
2 precincts in here. More than that. I mean, I'd have to have 2 tabulators. You literally think of what the precinct looks like in here, and then I need that times 2.
Okay,
So,
so like this room times.
I
again,
mean, not quite this big,
room,
but 2/3 of this,
of this room.
probably 2/3 of this room. But yeah.
Because it's just, yeah, if we're gonna have to explore the options, I don't really wanna buy the church, you know, just for voting. I would prefer not
Yes.
to buy the church.
Yeah, I would be adamantly opposed to that. as well.
Right, maybe we just try a little harder with the Bible church up
Yeah.
on Mason. We should probably you and I will have to, on what phone number I have for their trash service.
Okay.
I have
a phone number for them as well.
There we go, we'll see see who we can round up from there to see if they're willing to consider it even. And then I
They
don't,
have to be ADA compliant too. But I think you can walk into their basement. I've done fire inspection when they they put in a new hood. And I'm just trying to think, does it have to be ADA compliant in order for us to hold it there? So that's just something, I've only been in there once or
Right.
twice, that's why I can't remember the layout, and I've never been through the whole building.
so when we put this addition on, you were on the board, yes, Joe? Do you remember, do we have any room to go? Because I know the drain field is out, drain field's right there. So I don't even know if we have room here to do.
Drain field's gonna be moved, of course.
Yeah.
It's expensive.
Anything's buildable for a
They're
price, I
buildable.
get that, but.
I mean, going that way, I suppose, you could kind of make the building a U, I suppose. You know, if you spun out, you don't have a lot of room that way, but if you only need 2/3.
Yeah, I don't know how expensive that would be. It sounds expensive.
It'd be expensive, yeah.
I think lines are okay. People have 10 days to vote in person. 10 days.
Yeah.
We just gotta,
That's 9 too many.
huh?
It's 9 too many. It should just be like it used to be. One day
You are
voting
preaching to the
and
choir, man.
Just come up and vote when you're supposed to.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess if we can't get a hold of Baptist Church and Trinity, whatever happens with Trinity, we might still be able to use it.
Yeah,
It's a possibility. That would be like
that's
the
gonna be totally up in
best
the air
case
is the only thing.
scenario.
And there are deadlines for combining precincts and changing precincts. There's huge deadlines because you have to give out proper notification to,
Right.
and it's really long, like.
But
I
you
mean,
got a letter
months.
that said February was possibly, or that's the,
But they, it sounds like they're, the money that they had at endowment is gonna be gone. And they're not taking it enough to continue, which, yes, they've been talking about it for a long time, but
Right.
now they, I guess, have to make some
Is
decisions.
that the church on Bull Run?
Precinct 2, yeah, Bull Run in Iosco Road.
I'm gonna go talk to them.
All right.
You can make an endowment, please, Precinct 2.
You keep making it down to me.
all right, well, then maybe it sounds like we have some more information to gather before we get too excited, but something to definitely be thinking about.
Yes, thank you for bringing that up, sure appreciate it.
Yep. Amanda,
I don't have anything, thank you.
Julie,
I have nothing.
I have nothing additional. Would anybody else like to speak? Second call to the public. All right,
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
moved and supported, all in favor?
I was 1 minute off in my prediction.
Really?
I predicted 7:42.